Hello YouTube, my name is Corey and I'm the hand-drawn violist and I'm super excited to be here. This is my first video here, but I plan on uploading around once a week. I'm not quite sure what day yet, I'm still working out what's going to work best for my schedule, but definitely look forward to seeing me back. I want to give a great big welcome to anybody who's finding me for the first time, and a friendly hello to anybody who's followed me from other social media. A little bit about me. I am currently a music teacher, aiming to be a full-time illustrator, but I doubt I'll give up teaching forever. It's one of my favorite things to do, and that sort of ties into this piece. So the idea behind this piece was I wanted to create sort of a songbook filled with fan art and ukulele tabs because I've recently picked up the ukulele, and what's more fun to play than like songs from your favorite shows and movies and stuff, right? So that's the plan. We'll see if the songbook actually happens, but for now I have a lovely duo of paintings that are fun and look adorable, so I'll take it. We'll see if I have time to, fit in another project with all of the project I have up in the air right now. But anyway, on to the piece. So if you haven't guessed yet already, this is a Steven Universe piece. The song for this piece is Peace and Love on Planet Earth. So on the left we have Steven and Peridot, where Steven is teaching Peridot not only how to sing, but how to play the ukulele as well. And on the right, it's kind of hard to see with the sketch, but we've got Peridot giving her first concert to some of the crystal gems and the cluster underneath. I'm doing this in watercolor, which I very, very quickly realized doing this piece that this was a super ambitious piece for my watercolor skill set currently. But that's how you get better, right? You just push your skills. I discovered later on that I wasn't super happy with how my edges were working out. The idea behind this piece is it was going to be in full watercolor without lines except for on the characters, sort of reminiscent of old school like Disney films where they had the watercolor backgrounds with the animation cells on the top. It wasn't quite meant to be, because I'll discover here probably in another couple of minutes that the idea that, okay, well, I'll put layers down and I'll let them dry completely in between, and then I'll be able to layer them on top of each other and everything will work out fantastic, right? Well, I ended up with a whole bunch of really hard edges and a whole bunch of really dark edges that I'll go back and try and fix. So, not perfect, but I'm super happy with how it turned out anyway. Especially the characters, which Steven Universe characters are always a whole lot of fun to draw, especially when you sort of adapt them to your own situations. I loved giving Peridot a uke. I put a little alien on the body and on the headstall on her uke, and I think it's the most adorable thing ever. And it was fun sort of figuring out how to position everything, and it was a great exercise in composition, even if the painting didn't quite live up to how I thought it should look. But anyway, you can see here where I'm just fooling around with trying to add some layers on the right to finish up the background on the right image. I'm pretty happy with how the cluster turned out at this point and all the layers of the sediment under the earth. And so I'm like, alright, well, let's just finish this one up. I added some just stark pools of color just to try and imitate the Steven Universe style in their backgrounds. If you notice, their backgrounds are very richly layered, and while they're not super richly textured, they have all these super fun shapes that are going on in the skies and things, and it's something I really wanted to capture and emulate, especially on the leftmost image. But on the right, I was like, well, let's put in some pools of color on the grass, and I think it turned out really great. You can see here I'm going in and filling in some of my clouds. You can see what I was talking about those hard edges. Those clouds ended up really, really dark around the edge. And you can see me trying to take out take it out with a wet brush and a piece of paper towel. It didn't quite work because I ended up lifting a whole bunch of paint off of where I wanted to keep paint, but in the end I actually kind of liked the effect on the clouds. I liked sort of, the rim lighting on them. I thought that was awful fun. So a little bit more about this piece. I really wanted to sort of keep on with the theme of learning music and learning to share music and learning to, really give it to others and use it as a way to connect with others. Because that's really sort of what the song's about, or at least the story behind the song, right, in the show. Steven's introducing Peridot to this music thing and the fact that we should take a break and relax and have some fun, and that's sort of what's going on here. I'd like to imagine that Peridot wanted to continue with the ukulele and keep going with it. This is a piece that sort of hits home a lot for me as a music teacher. It's just the joy in sharing my skills with someone else and teaching them to do the same thing. And then their first recital is always one of the best parts, because they usually don't think they can do it, but they get up and they get in front of that audience and they knock it out of the park, and it's just so special seeing them experience that for the first time. And I wanted to sort of communicate that and visit that idea in this piece. A lot of people just see the finished product when they go see a music concert and things like that, and so I wanted to put a big old emphasis on all the work it takes to get there, which is what that leftmost panel is about. Sorry for the weird lighting change. I took a break from this piece halfway through, and then when I came back it was dark out, so I had to adjust the lighting a little bit, and I couldn't quite get it back to the point where I had it, but it still works, right? It was nice to sort of let the piece dry a little bit so I wasn't chasing as many, back runs and stuff like that, because I am the most impatient watercolorist ever. I'd have a lot less mistakes to fix if I would just let things dry. So I figured, alright, we'll just walk away from the piece for a half hour, watch a couple episodes of Scrubs and get back to it. And it was probably one of the better decisions I had made, because at that point I was getting sort of frustrated, especially with my edges, and I'm like, oh, it's just not making me happy, and how am I gonna fix it, and oh no, the painting's ruined. And when you feel like that, that's usually a good sign to just take a step back, because you know what, when I came back to the piece, I was like, oh, you know what, maybe this is fixable. And you'll see a little later, I go in, actually right now, I just start going in with colored pencil and softening my edges, correcting some colors, and stuff like that I couldn't quite get going in the watercolor. I have that classic, I know what I want to do, but don't quite have the skill set necessary to obtain it. You can see in the sky, I had some weird paint separating things happen. I thought I was using colors that weren't going to do that on me, but I think I ended up dipping into some pre-mixed color I had on the palette that does the granulation. So I just went in with a colored pencil and sort of smoothed that out, because that was the last thing I wanted in the sky at that point. On the right it's more okay, and I sort of cover it up with stars and it works, but especially on the left I was like, you know what, we've got to go in and fix that. So you can see me sort of bouncing back and forth between the two sides as I wait for colors to dry on the characters on the right, and then taking in and going in with some lines. I didn't line the piece in the beginning because I wasn't quite sure what sort of line work style I wanted to use. I use quite a few different line work styles to sort of complement whatever piece I'm working on, and probably the worst feeling ever is to just not have any idea what you want to do, make a decision, and then get halfway through your piece and be like, well, I really should have grabbed the sepia markers, or I really should have done this in colored pencil as opposed to brush pen and had softer lines. So I waited. I'm glad I did. What I'm using to line is the Kuretake, I think it's a number 8. It's the little guy with the felt tip. which I like a lot, especially for lining after the fact, is A, it's not waterproof, so you can't line before. And B, it still has that brush tip feel. It is a felt tip, but you can still get some line variation, so your line work isn't super stiff, but you've got that nice control. That's nicer especially when you're lining something that needs to be as tight as characters or something after the fact, instead of filling them in after. I love the freedom of an actual brush, but this just works so much nicer for that purpose, you know. And we're nearing the end here. I'm throwing up some lines and lining the rest of the piece. I think it's at this point where I decided that everything was just about done. So I'm like, alright, well, we'll finish off the right half, and in a second you'll get to see some awesome peel porn when I take the masking tape off, and here it is. I'm sorry I lost like half of it. I don't know where it went. But we'll figure it out for next video, right? It's a learning process. And you can see me just adding in those stars and signing the bottom of the piece. And this is the completed piece. I'll have both of these up on the various social media. I'll be selling prints in my Etsy store, and I may have the original up. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'll let you know when I do. Thank you so much for hanging out. Feel free to check me out down below. I've got all the links to all of the various places. You can follow me just about everywhere. I want to say have a good day and see you soon.